couple days ago, I was trying to do some shenanigans to customize my Windows taskbar. I was messing around with some different colors, and I was trying to decide which ones I like the most. Eventually, I settled on this black-pink combo. Not the band, but there were quite a few other color combinations that were in contention, and that led me to thinking about colors, and that led me to asking, what are the greatest colors? When I say greatest, I don't mean what colors you like the most. Like pink, for example, I like pink, but it's not really that impactful of a color. I'm sure you can probably think of plenty of things that are pink, like sakura trees, or cherry blossoms, flowers, the skies sometimes, but none of those things are like super huge things, you know? And pink also doesn't have any like huge emotional associations either necessarily. So when I talk about colors and how great they are, I kind of just mean like how much impact they have, how much influence they have, which is a very weird way of thinking about colors, but I like watching sports and stuff, and they talk about what players are the greatest of all time, and colors exist too. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyways, there's kind of a lot of colors in that pink category where sure, they can look nice for sure, but they don't really have that much impact, like purple, gray, brown, orange. And that's why, in my opinion, when talking about the greatness of colors, there's really only 4 colors that stand apart from the rest. The one coming in 4th place, in my opinion, is yellow. Yellow is often associated with light, most notably the sun, and I think it gets a lot of points for that. Whenever a kid draws like a landscape, usually you're going to see a sun in the top right or the top left of the paper. But the reason I can't put yellow any higher than 4th is that it's probably not got as much of an emotional impact as the colors I have above it. Like red, which is in my opinion the 3rd greatest color of all time, is associated with rage and anger very strongly, and also luck in China and probably some other countries, I don't know. And along with those emotional associations, red also has blood on its side. Just like the sun, blood is a very important thing / word or whatever you want to use to categorize different things. And if a color is associated with something or some things that are very important, then I think the color itself also becomes more important. And while blood isn't like a top 10 most important thing of all time or anything, it is one of the most important things that is also associated heavily with a color. Blood is also associated with the heart, which is pretty important as well. And for those reasons, I have red solidly in the 3rd position. Now the top 2 colors I feel like have separated themselves quite a bit, and I'm not actually sure which one is 1st and which one is 2nd. Those 2 colors are green and blue. The 2 things green has going for it is life and I guess like positivity would be the best way to describe it. What I mean by positivity is like when something is good, it's green, or when something is meant to go, it's green. Traffic lights are green when you want cars to go. People can have green flags. And like I said earlier, green is associated with life in general as well. Plants, trees, grass, they're all known to be green. So green both has a very strong connection to physical things like life, trees, plants, while also having a very strong emotional association with positivity, which is definitely the wrong word to describe this, by the way. There's probably a better way to describe what green represents, but I'm just going with positivity because that's the best I can come up with. Blue, on the other hand, probably doesn't have the emotional associations that green does. Blue is more associated with kind of melancholy, sadness, calmness, and it has like a decent association of those things, but they're not as strong as an association as green has of life and positiveness. Where blue does have green be is its associations with the sky and water, because those are 2 very, very important things. The sky, I would argue, is like a top 30 thing probably, and water is arguably a top 1 thing, so blue gets a ton of points for having those 2 in its wheelhouse. And like all colors, blue and green, and just like I said, all colors do have a bunch of smaller stuff that they're associated with. They all appear in nature to varying degrees, but it's kind of hard to quantify that, so I'm not really taking that into consideration too much. So I know I have yellow at 4, I know I have red at 3. I really cannot decide between blue or green at 1 and blue or green at 2 though. This is a very, very important debate, by the way. If I was judging this off of my personal taste, I definitely like blue more. I think blue is probably my favorite color, but we're talking about greatness here. We're not talking about how much I like blue and green personally. It's about how much blue and green have done. What's their body of work? Blue has the things, it has the sky, it has the water. Green also has things of plants and trees and grass. But more importantly, it has that association of positiveness that's really strong. It is a hard decision, and a very important one, by the way. Life will change based on which color I choose as the greatest, I'm sure. One thing that I kind of just realized that I haven't taken into consideration at all is how impactful the color itself is on other colors. What I mean by that is blue is a primary color. Green is not. Green is made from blue and yellow. If we're talking about the greatness of colors and the impact of colors, being able to create other colors from yourself, being one of the original 3 colors, has to have some weight. So I think as I look at the light blue sky that is above me, I have to concede its color is the greatest. There is no green on my screen to sway that opinion, and so just like the drops themselves, blue will reign in supremacy. I'm kind of trolling, it's not that deep. Blue is my number 1 pick though. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you think I'm completely insane in the comments. See you next time, and bye-bye.